Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started now. Welcome to another Be Connected session starring me, your host, Emily. I'm a customer experience officer over at the Hallett Cove Library, a part of the City of Marion Library service. So when we reopen, you'll see me plodding around there. You can come say hello. Until then, we're going to be going through our Be Connected webinar. Today, we're looking at how to stay safe online. That's including passwords, looking out for scams, online money, things like that, as well as online shopping. So let's begin. And if you hear a rubbish bin go by, it's rubbish day today, so that's me. Okay, today we're going to be looking at starting with the Be Connected website, because that is where I get all my information from. That's where these courses start from, and then I build onto them, add more. So if you have any extra questions, check out the Be Connected website. It's extremely helpful, user-friendly. I'll look into that in just a tick. Next, we'll be looking at safe passwords, what makes a safe password, what makes a weak password, and some general good habits to keep up with password maintenance. We're going to look at scams and tricks that are out there that might try and fool you. All of us have heard of the, what was it? It was the Persian prince or something like that, that would like to give us money. They just need your credit card details. So we'll look into those and how to avoid them and keep a clever eye out for them. And then we'll jump into paying safely online, forms of payment that you can do online through online means, shopping, things like that. So we'll look at credit card, direct debit, and PayPal, which I highly recommend. And then we'll jump into questions at the end. So let's get started. So Be Connected, I always push Be Connected at the beginning. It's a brilliant website. Again, it's the backbone of my sessions to begin with. They've got a broad range of topics. Some I've already covered, including Google Earth, getting online with webinars, and online video calling. It's self-paced, so there's no format you have to follow. You can pick up any course you think is interesting and get going. It's easy to use. I'd say, yeah, almost anyone can access it. And I'll show you in a tick. You can actually print off PDF documents for those who don't have access to a computer, or maybe are a bit scared of computers. And that way they can still get the information they need. And you can also sign up to keep track of your training. So what I'll do, I will pop over to a different screen here. Be Connected, there we go. So here's the Be Connected homepage. You just have to type in Be Connected into Google and it will come up as the first search option. It's a government initiative to get older people online for the most part. So, but I find that anyone can use it. It doesn't just have to be older folks, but it's definitely tailored to be nice and easy to use. If we go into the topic library in the top here, we'll jump through to look at what I've found today. So if we scroll down, you can go through the absolute basics. So what is a computer? What is a laptop? Things like that, very basic. Using a keyboard, and then getting started online. We're jumping into safety first today. We're looking at safe passwords, scams and tricks, etc. And then we're also going to do some online shopping. So just to show you, if you were to jump into one of these courses, it comes with a brief outline with a video, and then you can pick the course you'd like to follow through with. So say we want to do safe passwords, click view activities, and each of them starts with a short video that'll slowly run through each, and you can follow the steps as they go through them. If you continue to the bottom, you can print the guide, and that will give you a very easily printable version of the course. Extremely clear to follow, nice little graphics to pop in to keep you interested. So definitely pop over to the Be Connected website if you've got a family member or someone in your community that might appreciate that as well. Brilliant. Okay, we'll jump back if it's going to let me. There we go. Excellent. So that's Be Connected. Let's continue through, and we're going to look at safe passwords. So we'll start by looking at what makes a safe password. Oh, no, we'll look at how a password's stolen. So the reason we need passwords, of course, is so that each account has its own special profile. But we'll look at why we need a password, especially a strong one, because of these reasons. So there are three main ways people or hackers, scammers are going to try to get your password. The first one is password spraying. This is, I'll show you a graphic in the next picture, but it's essentially running through thousands of words, dictionary words for the most part, meaning just the plain English version of the word, not with symbols and letters in it. They'll run through hundreds, thousands, potentially $1 million, maybe, depending on the power of the program, just to get into your account. It's not a lot of work for the person hacking. It's all done by the computer. So we have to make take extra precautions to make passwords extra safe and extra strong. Phishing is the next way people can get to you. So unsolicited calls or emails. If you've had anyone, there was an ATO scam going back on last end of financial year, and people will get calls saying, "This is the ATO, you owe money, give us your credit number now." We based off of fear and scaring people. Of course, if you hear anything like that, if they can't respond with, "Okay, what's your name and how can I call you back?" If they can't respond with anything, hang up. They're not going to be legitimate, and anyone that's using fear to get money out of you is not a professional and not the legitimate source. Emails I'll look into a bit more in a bit, but again, that's sort of that print scam where they would call up, ask for your, well, email you, ask for your credit details, and if you were extremely trusting, you would give them, and then they would take all the money in that card. Of course, we know better now, thankfully. And just the origin of phishing, which I thought was really interesting. Phishing meaning actually fishing for information, and then freaking, which is PH for freaks. It's a 90s term. I thought it was so quirky. A freak was just another way to say a hacker, someone who used telecommunication technology to get information. I just thought that was so 90s, so cool. And then local discovery. So finding a notebook of passwords on your desk. I think all of us are guilty of this. And I'm not necessarily going to tell you not to do it. It's just not recommended to leave a notebook of passwords in the vicinity of the computer that you use. I'm definitely guilty of that. I've done it before. Just keep in mind, does your home or office location have easy access to other people? And maybe is there a better option than putting a notebook out for someone to find, maybe? So these are all ways that your password can be stolen. So how do we make a strong password? Oh, we'll have a look at the, what was this called again? Let me look again. It's called password spraying. These are the 50 most common passwords as of a couple years ago, I think it was. It's not super recent. But if you have a look, number one, most popular password for people to use, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got the next one going all the way up to 9. And then QWERTY. If you're not aware, QWERTY keyboards at the very, I'll hold mine up for an example, if you can see it. A QWERTY keyboard starts the Q, and the top 5 letters, 1, 2, 6 letters, spell out QWERTY. Yeah. So a QWERTY keyboard is that one. Just running your finger along a keyboard will produce a password, but it's not going to be a strong one, and it's definitely covered here. And people have definitely used them before, as you can see. There are a couple interesting ones. Of course, password is your password. That's a very often used one, unfortunately. A couple ones like princess, like animal names coming up, like pet names. We've got monkey, Liverpool at 47. I think that's very interesting. So have a look through here. If you've got one of these passwords, please consider changing it now. These are the ones that get breached the most often, these passwords, these accounts. So if yours looks anything like this, please update it. So now we'll look at what to avoid. Okay, we're not going to look at strong passwords just yet. What to avoid? Obvious passwords, as the ones we just saw, password, QWERTY, obvious sequences, 1, 2, 3, ABC, your own details, so name and date of birth, names of family members or pets, and the name of your street. This is all information a hacker, if they were really trying to get into your account, could look up online, and you don't want to be using it as your password. Of course, if you're extremely careful, they may not find this information online at all, but there's definitely ways for them to find out if they were really going to try. So here we go. Now what to do when making a strong password. A lot of these are suggested in the password box when you're signing up for a new account of something or changing your password. Most commonly, it'll say we need at least 8 characters, a mix of upper, lowercase symbols and numbers. Yes, this is very good. None of these are going to create a dictionary word. So no word that any robot computer program can just produce and run through. Sort of like monkeys on typewriters. Something eventually might get it along the line, but not within the time that people are going to attempt to break into your account. So use a mix of upper, lowercase, and all these extra details. Again, this is usually asked for nowadays on new accounts. You used to just be able to type in whatever, but now they do have prerequisites that you have to get through. So here are a couple examples, which I thought was so quirky and so odd, but they are incredibly creative. So say your favorite day of the week is Friday. Let's pop an F, lowercase, a 7, exclamation point, capital D, A, and Y. And then you can even use a phrase or a lyric and shorten it down to a series of numbers and symbols. So we've got 4 Seasons in One Day by Crowded House, written out in a sort of shorthand. If anyone were to see that password, they have no idea what the origin of it would be. So you can definitely do that. You can, yes, again, you could do a favorite lyric, favorite book title with the author, something like that. I think that's a very creative way to make a strong password. Okay. So additional tips, and we'll jump into these. I'll look in Password Manager and just to tick as well. Use a unique password for each account. I know some people like to put the name of the website within the password, somewhere embedded in it with a series of numbers and letters. That way they kind of know which website they're using it for as well. Keep them up to date, so update them regularly. Some places, some websites I should say, will request that you update them every 30 days, every month, so every couple months. Yeah, it's definitely recommended that you go around and update your passwords, especially accounts that you've come to really rely on. And consider the risk of how much you would lose, or how much time you'd have to spend reactivating your account if it was lost. And think about the time you'd spend just changing the password, and you'd find that one is going to outweigh the other, and it might be most likely the case that changing the password is going to be best. And using a password manager program. So I've had to do some extra research into these. So a password manager will generate for you unique, long, and complex passwords, and then storing them in an encrypted vault, either in the cloud somewhere, or in your, this is the cloud, or in your computer's hard drive somewhere. And these can all be accessed by a single master password that you know. So this one you make extremely complex, because it's the one password that gets to all your passwords. So what this does, it creates extremely powerful passwords. They're a lot longer than anyone could remember for the most part. There's several, they're about like 20 digits long sort of thing, or longer even. These password managers create great long passwords. My rubbish bin's going by. And then you have one single master password. The only problem is if that one master password becomes compromised, so if you forget it, or if someone finds what it is, maybe by local discovery and you having written it down somewhere, all your other passwords will need to be changed again. So that's another weighing up of which do you think you prefer. A lot of passwords that you have to remember, and they still have to be complex, or one single complex password that creates its own extremely complex password for each account. And that way it's got a single sign-on sort of going on. So if you're interested in those, please look up password managers. I don't currently have any recommendations for ones to use. A lot of web pages will have their own, so browsers will have their own login. So Chrome and Firefox, they all have their own login. And then from there, it'll save all your passwords, and your passwords will be remembered. I only recommend that for personal computers and at-home computers where not many people are going to be using them. But if you've got a single sign-on, that'll usually negate any problems you'd have with other people using your computer. And yes, only remember passwords. So tick the remember box on a password chain if you're sure no one else is going to be using that computer or logging onto your account on that computer. Okay, let's continue. So we're going to look at avoiding scams and tricks. And the golden rule, as we all know, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So unfortunately, nothing is for free for the most part. Online, for sure, you can't get something for nothing. It's always going to cost you some information or money. So if someone's offering you something for free, you become very suspicious and go, are you sure? So we'll go looking into that now. So where are scams deployed? So most commonly these days is by email. Generally, you'll get sent a link that will be asked to click within the website. I'll look into that a bit more in a second. Phone calls, so unsolicited calls. Again, that's phishing, where people are asking for information, and they might sound legitimate. They could even be a charity. But of course, ask for their charity tax number. I forget what it's called. It's an Australian business number. I'd have to look that up again. Ask for their information, where they can find more. I'd be very suspicious if they're a little cagey to give those details. Those things should be public and easily accessed. So if you're suspicious, ask for those details. If they don't give them readily, I would consider hanging up or asking more questions and not giving your information. Dating websites, unfortunately, a lot of people get catfished, is what it's called, where people assume the identity of someone else, maybe using a different picture, and then having someone become very intimate with them online to the point where they may ask for money. Usually it's the phrase like, I'd love to come see you. Please send me airline tickets to get there or your credit card details so I can buy some and I'll come and see you. Unfortunately, because people are already sort of in a vulnerable place when they're talking about their life and their love life and sort of that sort of stuff. So they become susceptible to this kind of trickery, which is, you know, unfortunate and sad. We'd love it all to be online and real. And then instant messaging is another way people can find you. So not just fully written out emails, people can start instant messaging you, much like on dating websites. Facebook Messenger and all these other places you can have chat boxes. Keep in mind that if someone's going to ask you to click on a link, trust me, it's something you want to see. Be a little hesitant with that and don't click on the link. So we'll look into the email scams especially. So these can be, there's a whole bunch that have come out from Apple, well, fake Apple, not actually Apple, asking about iTunes credit and things like that, or you have unused iTunes credit, please click here to use it, or you owe this amount, please buy us several iTunes vouchers. It's like, that's a weird way to pay someone. If you ever see a link from anyone suspicious, don't click the link within the within the email. Oftentimes legitimate companies like PayPal, they're going to say, please go online to your own account, log in, and then check this that we've been talking about, versus click on this link, we'll log you in automatically. Because when you do click on that link, it may not necessarily have already stolen your information. It's on that page where it'll ask for your username and password, and at that point they've taken your information. The page might close, or you may just not know that anything's happened, but now they've got your information. So be very careful with those. Clicking links through emails, I'd be a little suspicious of for the most part. Generally, yeah, if it's saying something like congratulations on winning the lottery, yeah, as nice as that would be to hear, unfortunately, no, I don't think that's going to be the true case. That's where they're deployed. So again, yeah, don't click on any links, delete the email, hang up, and then check the ACCC Scam Watch webpage. So let's bring you over here. We'll have a quick look at what that looks like. This is where people they share their information on places they've been scammed by or that they've heard of. So here we go, Scam Watch. Latest news and updates. And they've even got their Twitter feed running with up-to-date information on different types. So for example, scammers are impersonating video conference services such as Zoom. Oh dear. Yeah, you can definitely see a trend in what type of scams pop up depending on the state of the world. So a lot of coronavirus related scams have been going on. So if you'd like to be kept in the know, jump onto the ACCC website, ScamWatch. You can just type scamwatch.gov.au and you'll be able to find current up-to-date information. You can even report a scam. So if you click through here, you'll be able to pop through what type of scam have you been hit by or know of, or almost trapped by, but were wise enough to click away. And then you can give all their details, and then ScamWatch investigates them and can share that information with others or shut down the culprit as well. Danielle saying, Emily, are you real? Who am I really? Oh my goodness. I mean, yes, you never know. I could be scamming you. No, absolutely not. I would never do that. You guys are all my trusting cohorts. Okay, let's jump back into our PowerPoint slide. So again, check the ACCC if anything seems suspicious, and then upload your own info, not your own info, your own knowledge of a crime or a scam that has been running as well. Let's go look at paying safely online and the methods of doing so. So we'll jump through, we'll start by looking at ways to pay online. So credit and direct debit. So when you have decided, yes, I'd like to purchase this, and we'll go through as well determining a safe website and if you can trust that website. When you decide that, yes, I'd like to buy this item, I'd like to pay this website to deliver it to me, it'll give you several options, hopefully, for payment. Most often used is credit card, very basic level. I think every place is going to ask for your credit card as an option. Next one is direct debit. So with credit card, keep in mind, it adds an extra barrier between your money and the seller. With that, your bank, your credit card will have protections on it. The amount of protections are decided by the bank. So do look into yours and see if it offers fraud protection, and if they're happy to pay back with chargeback prices. So what that is, a chargeback is where if you've successfully provided enough evidence to show that yes, this was a scam, or I didn't receive the object I had purchased, your credit card can offer a chargeback where they give your money back as quick as they can, and then they investigate the rest on the other side and they'll look into it for you. That way you're not out of pocket for very long, and your money will come back to you. So with a credit card, do make sure you're using a safe web browser. I'll go into that in a tick as well, but we're looking at secure web pages, so HTTPS, and we'll look into that a bit more just so it's a bit more clear. And then direct debit's the other option. We don't recommend direct debit because it's directly from your bank account and there isn't that extra protection that the credit card would provide. There are still ways to get your money back if there was a problem. Banks, hard to say, some are nicer than others with chargebacks, but generally they're happy to fix that up for you. But we recommend a credit card versus direct debit. If they were to empty your credit card while there is fees employed, it won't drain your entire bank account as direct debit would. So keep in mind of those two. But the option we recommend most is PayPal. Most of you will have heard of PayPal, but it's essentially a middleman between your bank and the seller. They do provide buyer protection. And what it does, it sends money between PayPal accounts, not bank accounts. So when signing up, you can sign up with your credit card or bank account, though again, we recommend credit or debit, whatever you're using, versus a bank account. What it'll do, you say, yes, I'd like to buy pizza. They've got pizza down here in the graphic. We'd like to buy pizza. I'll send you my PayPal details and they'll subtract the money from PayPal. What happens first though is PayPal pays on your behalf the amount owed to the seller, and that way the seller has its money ready to go. And then when your bank is open again or functioning, depends what time of day you're paying on PayPal, then the amount will be deducted from your actual bank account. So there is a middleman between yourself and the seller, and that provides extra protections if anything were to go wrong. The buyer protection with PayPal is incredible. I personally have had one account, they bought something in, I think, Singapore, which was an odd purchase considering I wasn't in Singapore. And I quickly noted it. And I think it had even been a month later, and I had only just checked my account at that time. I recommend frequently checking your PayPal account to make sure everything is up to it, not looking weird. Anyway, I checked my PayPal account, saw a purchase made in Singapore and went, this is odd, and I reported it. So there's a nice, easy reporting system within the PayPal website. And then the same day they paid back my money, PayPal went, okay, I see this is a weird purchase. That wasn't you. Here's your money. We're going to investigate the other side for you. So that was great. It was done within the day. I was very pleased. So I highly recommend PayPal. Extremely safe. Oh, thank you, Danielle. So nice. Keep glancing at chat every now and then, and Danielle just provides the nicest comments. Okay, so PayPal, brilliant. Love it. Use PayPal. Now we'll look at the actual shopping aspect and what makes a safe web page, what kind of places you can trust, and even looking at your rights as a consumer. So let's continue through. I love this page. Online shopping. So do you trust the website? So when looking at an online shop, online store, these are things you need to be looking out for. First, know who you're buying from. See if they provide a phone number, a physical address, an email that you can contact. This tells you that, yes, they're legitimate. They have ways to contact you. If these things aren't there, I'd be very worried very quickly. There've been known to be quite a few pop-up scam shops. It's not called a scam shop, but fake stores that appear online for a limited amount of time. Generally, these are advertised through social media. So please, if you see anything on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, please don't trust it right away. But what these shops have done is they've provided a very brief window of opportunity for people to buy things. They won't tell you, of course, but people will give them their money, and they'll either get knockoff versions of what they were hoping to buy, or they won't receive anything at all. They've just had their money taken. And then the shops will close down as if nothing had happened. And it's very hard from that point to follow up with any kind of chargeback repayments and things like that. And ScamWatch have a hard time keeping up with them for the most part. They know where to find them, and they're investigating on their side things that I don't understand. But these shops can just vanish online, and you'll have no way to contact them. If you did in the first place, of course. Check on the web address. Most web pages you use, web browsers, will say this is an unsecure site. Are you sure you'd like to continue through and view it? The difference between HTTP and HTTPS is simply, is simply that little S symbol standing for secure. There's an extra encryption in place on that website where other websites, other users can't jump in and piggyback and look at your information as you're typing it through. They're called keystrokes, like keystroke programs, where they'll be able to record on unsecure sites your keystrokes that you made on a keyboard. So what you've actually pressed and what fields you've entered it in. So they can very easily find your password just by knowing what buttons you pressed on the keyboard at that time. So keep out for HTTPS:// and that's a safe website. So if you don't see that right away, I'd leave. I wouldn't stay on that site. It's not worth it. It's not hard for them to put on a secure connection, and being unsecure is very suspicious. Read reviews, product reviews and retailer reviews. So you can look at reviews online, just type in, so say if it was JB HiFi, I'll look at JB HiFi in a bit, but JB HiFi website review, or is this site safe? And there's lots of resources that come up online. Look at a few, don't just look at one and get your opinion from there, because it very well could be a sponsored website from that website giving themselves a good review, possibly. But look at the product reviews as well. See if they've got more than a couple saying, love it, great. If they've got some that have a couple issues with it, keep that in mind. But I'd be very suspicious of just a few comments saying good or 5 stars without any kind of comment after it. I'd be going, did they put their own review on? I know I sound very suspicious, but when you're online, it does pay to be extra careful. So buying online, yeah, you can be suspicious. And read their terms and conditions and returns policy. If they don't have that available for you to view, I wouldn't buy from that seller, because they haven't got a policy that you can refer back to and say, okay, this was sent to me and it didn't work. In your terms and conditions and returns policy, it said this, so therefore I can get this much back. If you don't have that information available, don't shop on that website. And also retain the email sent by the retailer and check the charges made on your bank or PayPal account. Sometimes you can get overcharged and you won't know why. So having the email of the actual cost you should have been spending and the amount that was spent is a great evidence to have. And evidence is what you're going to need if you need to make a claim against something. And oftentimes these are time sensitive. So please keep all of your emails to do with shopping. I think we all know to do that anyway, but please do. And that way you'll be safe when you need to come up with any kind of evidence. So let's have a browse of a real life website that I've used recently. Let's jump onto JB HiFi. Not sponsored, not affiliated, but they're a prolific shop. I know we've all bought something from JB HiFi, but what we'll do, we'll scroll down. We'll have a look first at the website page. So if I click here, we've got an HTTPS, so it's a secure web page, and I see a .com.au, meaning it's an Australian web page. I'm honest, right away, I'm already trusting it. I'm going, okay, this is good. This ticks a few boxes, I'm pleased. So if we scroll down further, at the bottom of a web page, they'll often give you extra information. and sort of the info they wouldn't necessarily put at the very top of their webpage, because when you're coming on to shop online, you're not necessarily wanting to read the terms and conditions right away. You're looking to buy, what is this, your next coffee machine. Just cool. JB HiFi Home. Okay, cool. So down at the bottom, we can see we've got even a copyright notice just saying this is JB HiFi site running from 2002 to 2020, which is very cool. I like seeing that. That's, you know, good to know. An older website isn't necessarily a bad website. It just means it's been running longer, which is great. And then down here, they even offer scam alerts in terms of use, help and support. But of course, what we're going to be looking at is consumer guarantees / faulty products. So if we click through here, they even give you terms and conditions, the law, and all the terms you'll need to find as well. It's a lot to read, so unless you're specifically looking for something, it's not that fun. I know people who love reading terms and conditions, very odd, but there's something about reading the rules that makes them excited, I guess. Delivery and shipping, these are sort of things you should read, usually if you're considering buying, not just on the general, but it's great to have these. So terms and conditions and policies is what you're going to be looking at as well. So something like website terms of use, gift cards, consumer guarantees, this is what you're going to be looking at. And knowing that it's on this website is already telling me that this is something you can trust. And there's a very easy to find contact us, asking for your phone number so they can give you a call back, your email. And this is something that they send through and respond to quite quickly, which is great. Cool. Another thing that I always look for on a website, if nothing is coming up very clearly, is an about section. So I'll just see, I don't imagine they're going to have it up here. Most people aren't looking for an about section right away. So if we go back down, sorry for the fast scrolling, everyone, about us down here. This is where they sort of offer up all their information. They should be giving you a way to contact them. Generally their manifesto, why they're doing what they're doing. It might just be making money, but they're generally they're looking to tell you what they're trying to do here. And then they've got a contact us here, nice and easy to find. So email, and they've got a place where you can post email as well. Sorry, post mail, gosh. Brilliant. So it's got all this extra stuff you can find, nice and clear, somewhat easy to find. I know going to the very bottom of a page and finding very small about us text may not be easy to find, but that's where I'm always going anyway if I want to find more information about the website itself and not what it's selling. So it's nice to have it all here in one place, even though bottom of the web page, but you can kind of tell where their priorities lie. It's about, you know, selling stuff and getting things to you right away versus teaching you about their policies. So we'll jump back through. Cool. That was an example of a trusted website, at least for me. Again, it's totally up to your own discretion, what is trusted, what isn't, but please look out for those main points: secure website, an about section, information to contact them if anything goes wrong, and a returns policy, very important. Okay, so what if something goes wrong? What if your item doesn't arrive or it's the wrong thing? First things first, contact the seller. Again, if you were if you're clever to begin with, and saw that, yes, they have contact information. If anything goes wrong, I can call them or email or mail them. Sorry, mail's such an old format now for me. You can see how young I am. So contact the seller if you can. If they don't respond or are unhelpful, contact your bank or PayPal. PayPal has a brilliant system of reporting where they'll follow up the entire thing for you. It'll keep you up to date with how they're doing, but they're always going to get your money back first. So essentially you, the customer, aren't stressed about it. And then your bank with credit insurance is also going to do that as well for you. But PayPal is a little bit extra. I would say PayPal because gives you a bit of extra peace of mind. To have a PayPal option button on your web page, you do have to pay a fee to PayPal. This is for the website owners, the shopfront keepers. They're going to have to pay a fee every time you make a purchase. So for them, it's giving you the extra option so that they can instill that feeling of trust. I know that anytime I don't see a PayPal button, it just asks for your credit card details, I instantly become suspicious, or I think, is this an old out of touch website? What's happening here? So when I see PayPal, I go, I trust this quite quickly. So it is in their best interest to pay this extra fee so they can allow PayPal there to sit on the website. It costs you nothing to use PayPal. It's just setting up a different account. That's all. And then after that point, wait for the money to come back, hopefully. And then if nothing comes of that, look into your consumer rights as a consumer on the consumerlaw.gov.au or the accc.gov.au. So I'll open those pages really quick just so you can have a quick look and see what they look like and what they offer. There we go, I think. I don't know, did my page disappear? Oh, sorry, that's my whole screen. One moment. There we go. I was looking for the border, but it was my whole computer. The ACCC, so Australian Competitive and Consumer Commission. This is, it's kept up to date really well. So I would look here first for your what rights you have, and it has an extensive list, as you can see. So if we were to look at online shopping, so say you are shopping online down here, they're going to give you your rights and what things you need to be aware of when you're shopping online. So anything I missed here, please check out the ACCC. It's the driving force, it's the hardline rules. So if you like rules, go have a read. There's a lot of them. There's also, and this is a cute little extra, which I had a look at. I'm not going to play it just because I'm not totally sure if the audio is going to run through. But they've got internet shopping explained through memes. Look at that. It's so up to date. It's a fairly entertaining video. I would check it out if you're interested. And that's just on the ACCC's website. So I'm going to scroll back up. And we'll go look at the Consumer and Business Services. So up here, it's the SA, so South Australian version of this. So you can go look through each state within Australia, but here's specifically catered to the South Australia public population. And you can go all the way through consumer and business advice. Goodness, it's hot in my room. And you can look at your consumer rights. And again, these are nicely laid out. I was kind of surprised to see how easy it is to skim through these. And they've got some brilliant information as well and stuff I've ticked off and had a look at here as well. So I highly recommend these sites. I've got them listed here. One more time, I'm going to switch back to my other screen. PowerPoint, beautiful. So consumerlaw.gov.au or the accc.gov.au. Check those out. And I think we're toward the end. A little extra credit, a bit of fun. Your rights online, the checkout. If you remember the checkout, it's only been off air for a couple of years. You can jump online and check this out. I'll pop it in the chat in a second. So I'll just click this through. Just for myself, here we go. Thank you for waiting. Here we go. Beautiful. I've popped it in chat. I think I'm allowed to send links. Yes. Beautiful. It's a lot of fun. It's got great comedic timing and it teaches you a lot. I learned a few things as well. So if you want, you can copy that link into your webpage. Otherwise, I'll just leave it up here for you to reference. Next, we're going to get into questions. So I can see we've got one set through already. But what I'll do, I'll quickly have a look. Oh, here we go. Brilliant. A question from Munya. She's asking if we have a list of all the courses we're doing via Zoom and the dates and times they are offered. Currently, I'm sort of bringing them up as I hear about people's feedback and what they're looking for. So presetting a whole bunch, I can do that. If that's something you're looking for, Renia, for sure. Everything that we've got is available on Eventbrite. So check out Eventbrite to see what courses we've got going. And Paula has kindly popped them up on Facebook. So on our Marion Library's Facebook page, and that way you can find them in the events tab. So we don't want to clog up the feed with all of my events. We've got them in the little tab off to the side on the left-hand side of the screen. Left-hand side. Brilliant. Okay. So again, staying connected with us. Ways to find us online. Jump on our Facebook page at City of Marion Libraries. Same on our Instagram. You can subscribe to our Library Loop newsletter. This is done through the library catalogue. If you're not sure how to do it, please give us a ring. or chat to one of us on the online chat. We're always listening, so feel free to send something through on the chat, or give us a ring on 8375 6755. That's another way to do it. Beautiful. So I think that's done. Very pleased. So yeah, check out our Eventbrite page, which you can access through our Facebook. Yeah, I think it's just through Facebook is the main way you can get to it. And that is where I'll be having more of my courses available. Okay, so I'll just say goodbye to all my video sharing friends. One moment. So thank you everyone for listening at home. For more info, please hop onto our social media and you'll be able to find more there. Thank you.